The MLS has a very interesting story. The men aren't going to the Olympics. The women are. There are a whole bunch of advantages. Soccer finished the Euro Cup, finished Copa America. This is an amazing time. But we're here in the middle of the Avaya Stadium for the All-Star game, the MLS All-Star game. And Dave Kaval.
Yes, thanks
Thank
for
you very
having
much.
me. It's great to be here.
I butchered the guy's name 45 times before we really started. Dave, the president of the Quakes?
Yes, absolutely.
And also the mastermind or the master implementer of this grand project here. Talk a little bit about this building.
Well, this has been transformative for the San Jose Earthquakes to have our own home.
Yeah.
We, for 40 years, were a professional soccer club, and we were a vagabond. We never had a home stadium.
Started in 74, right?
74, old NASL, great players, George Best, Johnny Moore, great history, but we never had our own home. Even back in 1996, when we had the first game in MLS history, here in San Jose at Spartan Stadium, we still didn't really have our own venue where we could control the fan experience and really showcase soccer in the way it's supposed to be played. And that's what we have here with Avaya Stadium. That's why we're so excited to host the world for the All-Star Week and just showcase what we've created here in San Jose.
And we're going to walk through and you're going to show me some of the stadium
absolutely.
as well. So $100 million of private funding later, basically, is a stadium, HOK, populist design, and it is a unique soccer stadium. We'll go through the specifics of it, but it works, and that's the bottom line. It works.
It does, and I think what we did is we looked for the best elements of the great stadiums of the world. We went to the Bundesliga, we went to England, we saw the intimacy, the high rake of the seats, the fact that people wanted to be close to the action. We put all the actual premium inventory at the field level. We took some risks, but we actually created a great stadium and one that people have flocked to. We've sold out every game so far in our year-and-a-half history.
Our super-duper world guru executive producer, Paul Michael Ochoa, by the way, we call him Shaky. No, you better not, by the way. So one of the things of Facebook Live is it looks like we're having an earthquake. So far, we're steady. Yeah. But you're going to be evaluated at the end of this by how you walk backwards as we start this tour. You ready to go? I'm ready. All right, here we go.
Let's do it. Rock and roll. Rock and roll.
So, how hard was it to get a ticket for the All-Star game?
Well, it sold out in 4 minutes, and we had our season ticket holders got priority. But even after that, there was a ton of secondary market interest in the game. We have people, I just talked to a couple fans traveling in from Connecticut, folks coming in from Dallas. Arsenal rarely comes to the United States, so this is a huge event for world soccer here in the Bay Area.
Yeah. And the economic impact, you may not have a number. What's your prediction?
I think it's what they say, on the order of $15 to $20 million for an event like this, because it's not just the game, it's the actual week of festivities, it's all the different people coming in, it's all the ancillary things, people create tourism. It's really a great thing.
All right, speaking of festivities, this is the world's longest bar, the solar system's longest bar.
This right here is the TCL 4K bar, the largest exterior bar in North America, over 300 linear square feet of bar space. We have the beautiful reclaimed redwood from Moffett Hanger, the Portuguese terrazzo stone, an amazing backdrop to watch soccer and experience the beautiful game.
That's great. And the beautiful game also includes beautiful alcohol. And I guess there's some rules relative to Reuters and everybody that I can't actually drink on television. So I'm just going to tell you, or Facebook or wherever on, I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to do it now, but you owe me one. How's that?
You got it. Don't worry. I'll hook you up.
Deal. So, congregation point, we are about less, sorry. I'm not drinking, I swear. We are less than an hour before kickoff.
Yep, absolutely.
And the place is rocking, obviously.
Yeah, people get here early. That's one of the great things about this bar and this open side of the stadium is that people congregate and have an experience before the match.
Yeah,
we love it.
And is that a normal thing for how many home games?
We have 17 home matches that are MLS, and usually 1 or 2 bonus games. We played Manchester United last year, which was a huge event. Club America, of course, we have Arsenal against MLS All-Stars this year. It's really already been the epicenter of soccer here in California.
Just for people who are late tuners in, because we're picking up millions, I'm sure, Dave Kaval, president of the Quakes, inspiration of Avaya Stadium, and this is Facebook Live. I'm Rick Horrow. The bottom line also of the economic impact, we talked about it for a second, is the Bay Area and what
Yeah.
it means.
Yep.
You see the stadium behind
Yeah,
us.
it's a great view.
So
Great view.
it's an incredible year for the Bay Area as well. You had Super Bowl 50.
We did.
It's that Giants even year, so here we go again.
Yeah, probably get the World Series.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Sharks went to Game 6 and nobody expected it.
Yep.
The Warriors, a little disappointing, but the bottom line is they got Kevin Durant and they're ready for a new arena in downtown.
Yep.
How do you all fit into that picture?
Well, I think what's happened in the Bay Area recently is that we've created a lot of new sports fans. And so while this area maybe 10 or 15 years ago wasn't considered a sports hotbed like Boston or New York, it's actually becoming one. And I think the Quakes are a key part of that. We are the global sport, soccer. Our community is the most diverse community in the country. It's a perfect marriage, and that's why we're having so much success.
And Dave, how do you define the community? Because I guess you should argue that you're from Sausalito all the way down to Los Gatos and farther south, East Bay and beyond, so you cast a wide net.
We do. I mean, you look at our fan base, and we have people coming from Fairfield, Watsonville, San Mateo, San Francisco. So we really are Northern California's team, and the thing is there's millions of fans who love the Earthquakes.
Yeah. So let me tell you what's, for you millions of people out there who are now watching, let me tell you what's disappointing is that we had a couple of people take pictures, stop and take pictures, and he thought it was for him, clearly, because that ego would be. I thought it was for me, but they're actually talking way past us on the field that's right behind us. That is disappointing. I hope it's going to change a little bit.
Well, we'll see.
All right, we'll see.
Okay.
So let's go. What else do you want to show us?
Well, obviously this is the Open Epicenter side. This is where we have like our host location where Univision Deportes is broadcasting the game, which is very exciting. This is where we set up all our sponsor activations, everything like that. We're getting a live feed here. Mark Abbott, president of the league. We're on Facebook Live.
Here's what I want to tell you. This is to millions of people, and we didn't really want to have the lawyer here, but he just happened to walk up. This is Mark Abbott, who is a brain trust of Major League Soccer. He is Don Garber's right-hand guy. You would probably say that Don Garber's your right-hand guy?
I would not say that.
No, you would not say that. You would not say that.
Definitely not.
I will say this. This guy is the most important guy in the MLS. I would not say that either, huh?
No,
All right.
not.
I have held the
Good to
pay on that.
see you.
Thank you, my friend. All right, I'll see you.
Where's the reception?
Right that way, Mark. Yes.
So that's the bottom line. So Mark Abbott, the first thing he's asking, right, is where's the reception?
Yes,
That's
he was
all
going to the reception. We have a great reception.
Yeah,
So
I understand.
some of the other really exciting things we have at the stadium is we have an open concourse. So as you walk along the concourse, you can see into all the action on the pitch at any time. And so that makes it a very open stadium. The fans are connected to the action, and it's something that's very unique in professional soccer.
Tell us about the Avaya relationship. How do you get them to lend their name, and is it working out for both parties?
It's been tremendous because for us in Silicon Valley, we needed a technology partner who could actually make sure that this stadium was on the cutting edge and most state-of-the-art technology and fan experience. And what they've done is they put a high-density Wi-Fi system in here where we've built an app that can do everything from ticketing to wayfinding to concessions, and it's really top tier, and our fans are demanding that. And if we didn't have that, I think folks in Silicon Valley would think we couldn't live up to kind of what we promised. And so Avaya has been a great partner for that.
Well, I guess you could argue it's an interesting one-upsmanship for fan comfort.
You're right.
Levi's, amazing state-of-the-art facility.
True.
I'm sure Joe Lacob and the Warriors are looking very carefully about what Avaya is doing here.
Yep.
And so everybody building on everything else to the benefit of the fans, and that's what Silicon Valley, I guess, does for sports.
Yeah, and our stadium's really become a laboratory for a lot of new ideas, both with the app and other technologies we're trying to deploy here.
Give me a couple other examples.
Well, some of the other things we're trying to do is with the iBeaconing technology. So when you walk down the concourse, you can actually serve people different ads on our in-stadium video network. So we can go to sponsors and say, hey, people are going to walk by and they're going to get served a 7-Up ad or an Avaya ad or a Sutter Health ad based on their preferences and who they are. And that's something that's very unique and only that we're doing here at Avaya Stadium.
All right, let's go. Where else do you want to go?
Let's head down the concourse a little bit and see the action there.
All right. By the way, this is Arsenal against the MLS All-Stars. And you see the people in Arsenal jerseys. Maybe they feel empowered, but there were three guys who just walk right through you.
I saw it. We got to look alive. You
want to check out, see how close you are to the field?
This is our terrace area, which is really exciting, and we have grass in this area, which is nice.
Our first major production mistake by our almost executive producer, Paul Michael Ochoa.
Yeah, he's really good walking backwards.
He's doing really good.
He's doing really well. So yeah, the other thing you see here is just how close you are to the action. Our stadium is so intimate in terms of its construction and design all the premium inventory was built at the field level. Okay. All the clubs, all the suites. It's basically like having court seats in the NBA, right on the action. And for fans, especially people who are just getting into soccer, they'll come and sit there and they'll realize these players are unbelievably athletic. They're quick, they're fast. Yeah, it's amazing.
Paul Michael, look, pan out here so you see how close this is.
And then we have the dual level video boards, the fascia above and below, the video board above the scoreboard bar, which is incredible. The other thing we have is the 3 different shades of blue with the seats. We went with the mosaic seat pattern in the seats, which is very, very nice. And actually, we did a really Silicon Valley thing. We embedded a code in the seats. And held so it was a code, secret code, and we held a contest for 6 months, and we let the public come to see if they could break the code. And the code ended up being broken by a kid, 21 years old, San Jose State. Him and his father came to the stadium, and he realized that we had spelled out in red seats in binary script, "Go EQ!" And he won that, and we gave him 2 tickets to the next World Cup. So that was a great little Easter egg we threw into the stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Only in Silicon Valley would that kind of thing happen. That's brilliant.
It was fun. It was really a good promotion.
And by the way, I do really appreciate that in anticipation of a future JetBlue sponsorship, you colored the seats.
They're all blue. It's very true. It is very
JetBlue,
true.
if you're listening, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
All right, back in the concourse, right?
Back in the concourse. Wow. Well, look at this.
That's a pretty sophisticated
He's a contortionist. Contortionist. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, he dropped his glasses. Now he's shaking. All right, so we got him going.
We're going to make it through. Through. Yeah, the other thing that we did is that we had a very steep rake of the seats. So it's a 34-degree rake, which is more similar to an actual arena than an outdoor stadium. So that means when you're in the last row, the 28th row, you still have an amazing view of the action. There's really not a bad seat in the house.
Right.
So that's something that people love about our stadium.
Total seating capacity?
18,000 is our seating capacity. And like I said, we sold out all our regular season games, and it's been a huge success.
Concerts, other events?
Right now we don't have a concert permit, but we're working with the city to get one. We've been doing a lot of rugby events, which have been super popular. We've been doing like high school soccer, for instance, which is really popular in the Bay Area.
Right.
And so we try to do as many events as possible. We even do we're having the Light the Night Walk, Leukemia Lymphoma Society, doing a fundraiser, so a wide variety of different things.
The advantage of this being a interesting, high-tech, outdoor, 18,000-seat venue in the middle of the peninsula, I would just say hopefully you get a permit. Get some concerts in, right?
We want to, because I think it's going to be a great addition to the entertainment scene here in the Bay Area, no doubt.
We talked about it earlier in another context. Do you work actively with Sharks, the Warriors, the Raiders, the Niners?
We have a close relationship with all the pro sports teams. I mean, one thing I will say is that soccer fans tend to be their own fan, so they don't overlap necessarily as much with the other professional sports teams. So a lot of times they're just soccer fans.
Right.
And so we need to do whatever we can to make sure we reach them, connect to them in an authentic way, and make sure they have a great experience.
And your demographics, are your demographics mirroring the league demographics? I mean, they'll be...
we're a little more family here, to be honest with you. We still have a lot of millennials, younger fans, but we're probably 40-45% soccer families, which is big in the Bay Area. Yeah. So that's kind of the way it's worked out to date. And, we've had fans, we have a 41-year history, so it's worked out really, really well.
And what do you do to, and I'm going to ask Don this from the league level, but what do you do to inspire the next generation of soccer fans? Soccer academies?
We do. We have an academy all the way down to 12 years old. And so we have kids all over the Bay Area. I mean, a kid like Wando, our star player, got started in an academy here in the Bay Area. So we have young players. David Bingham, also in the game, Bay Area player. And so this area has great talent. What we've really been lacking always is infrastructure. We now have a Avaya Stadium. We're building a $40 million academy complex that will be done in 2 years, which will further cement our place at the forefront of development.
Where's that? Where's the stadium?
It's going to be about 3/4 of a mile from here, right by the airport. So it's going to be a great location. So we're really happy about that.
Awesome. What else do you want to show us stadium-wise?
This is kind of an interesting area where the fans kind of bisect the actual players, and so they just walk across the concourse, so you can get super close to all the action of the fans and the players, and it's really a unique aspect of a Vive Stadium.
While we're looking at that, what other kind of design uniqueness HOK Populous comes to you and says, we're going to build a soccer stadium, we know how to do it generically? How did you Quakeize it?
Well, one, we have one concourse.
Okay.
Most of the time you have multiple concourses. One concourse actually, especially if it's an open concourse, keeps it more open, lowers your cost, and really keeps it very simple and elegant. The other thing is we use this material, you can actually see it right now, the SPS.
Yeah.
So instead of precast concrete, which is a lot more expensive, we use the material called sandwich plate system, which is kind of like the deck of a ship. And it's very rigid. It means you don't need as deep a foundation. You save a bunch of money, but it's solid as a rock. And so that's another great way to use building techniques, design elements to create really a more efficient stadium. That's one thing we wanted to do. We didn't want to spend just to spend. We wanted to spend in areas where people cared, like the wood and the Portuguese stone and the things that people care about.
Right. Weather related, hot, really hot in the summer here. It variable too, right?
Yeah, but variable. And it cools at night. So this game's in the afternoon, but most games are at night. By then it's 70 degrees, perfect weather. People love being here in the stadium. It's just an absolutely perfect environment.
Did you look at other sites in San Jose? Was this the natural, logical
The
place?
only other one we looked at was downtown next to the Shark Tank.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about this one is that it's really a very nice location near the airport. We have transit, Caltrain, all these different things. So it's really good.
Perfect. Should we?
Let's get across. Let's move our way across. We're going to make it happen here. This is going to test our man to the limit.
Yeah.
But I know he can do it. He's
walking backwards into a crowd.
Oh my gosh, can he do it?
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's keep going.
Very
He's a dream
important
team.
person walking backwards. Important person walking backwards. Clear way.
So this is where the team walks by. This is kind of the area that crisscrosses. So it's pretty cool. Hey guys, how we doing? Yeah. And this is one of our team stores. We have 3 team stores on the concourse. You can see kind of back behind me, that's where the team comes out, which is really neat.
Yeah, get some perspective of that.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing.
That's
and
really
you get so close to the action. That's very unusual to have that in any stadium. So really amazing. And when people come here and see it, they just really appreciate it.
We don't have to decide right now.
Sir, aren't you the...
I'm going to meet you in there.
108, I'll see you.
You're the commissioner of the major... There you go. All right. He's here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So that's good.
The soccer don's in the building. So.
Just to give you some perspective on that, locker room facilities, administrative facilities.
Absolutely. So the first floor is all our team facilities, visitors and home locker room, training, gym. Second floor, executive offices, all in one place. We have our training pitch just stone's throw away here. So we have everything in one location. Works out great.
How long did it take to build?
About 18 months to build the entire stadium. So
I normally ask this of all the people we deal with. If you had to do one thing over, what would it be? Is there anything that you're?
I think actually in hindsight it would be better to have a little more premium inventory because we've been so popular. We have about 1,000 premium seats, but I think we could support more, and we may look at doing some things in the stadium, like in the corners, to support that. Are
you flexible enough to be able to convert?
Yes,
things?
We are, and the one thing we did is we tried to make it so we had a blank slate and we could attack different areas and change them over time to keep the stadium fresh.
Yeah, excellent.
Cool. And this is the beautiful redwood from Moffett Hangar.
Yeah.
That wood is 1,100 years old. The all reclaimed redwood. It's amazing. And that really softens kind of the steel look of the building, and really creates a very unique Northern California feel to what we have here.
Do we have a weather warranty from the contractors on that?
Well, I will say it does need to be refinished quite often, especially if it's in the sun, as you can imagine. So,
Dave Kaval, as in Gavel, president of the Quakes. Those are all his fans. You think they're waiting for the players? They're actually waiting for Dave. How long have you been here?
6 years with the Quakes.
And took it from 2010. Was Avaya committed? Was the stadium already committed?
No.
All right.
No. So it was getting the financing, committing on the site, making sure we had all the approvals from the city, the PD permit, the zoning. So it was a long process to go through all those steps, and it was challenging. We had times we had setbacks. We had a neighborhood group that opposed the stadium because of noise issues, even though we're next to an airport and a train track. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, I know.
But we managed to get through all those things and really develop a beautiful stadium for this community.
And here's a leap of faith on Major League Soccer. So you start, this is a great nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
But stadium wasn't finished yet. The issue of where the MLS is going to be you had to be a firm believer in the MLS in order to take that commitment 6 years ago.
100%. And to privately finance a $100 million stadium at a time where most of the venues had been publicly financed to that date, it really made quite a statement, not even just here, but across the league. That the league was here to stay, that people knew they were going to make these types of long-term investments, and it's a real credit to Don Garber, his team, and the other ownership groups in the league.
That's an amazing segue, and I'm thirsty, so let's go into Don's box.
Let's do it.
And
awesome.
Have you be handed off officially?
I will. Okay, I appreciate you doing that. Thank you so much for the time.
All right,
being
man.
here.
All right.
Go Quakes.
I appreciate
Go San
that.
Jose.